Hi guys, welcome to Bible Breakdown. We're doing 1 Samuel chapter 24. So we last left off with the mountains and David was here, Saul was here, they were going up, and then Saul was told that the Philistines was invading his land, so he went back and then David went back up to the mountain. Boom. So now Saul is done with the Philistines and he was told where David was staying. I genuinely don't know who tells Saul this stuff. Like, who is his inside scoop? I mean, the Ziphites definitely said that they were going to let him know when they saw David. So I guess it's them. Regardless, we don't know who told Saul, but Saul knows. And he gets 3,000 Israelite men that's fit for the job so that they could go after David and his men. So they went in front of this place called Rocks of the Wild Goats. And then it says when Saul came to the sheep pens, there was a cave there and he had to use the bathroom. So he went in the cave to use the bathroom. Little did he know, David and his men was in that same cave. Talk about the mouse in the trap. Verse 4 says, "Look, this is the day the Lord told you about. I will hand your enemy over to you so you can do to him whatever you desire." Then David got up and secretly cut the corner of Saul's robe. So David was so close to Saul. He literally was like right next to him. And the first thing he does is cut his robe off. And we will see why. After this, David's conscience was eating him alive. He felt so guilty. He felt so bad for what he did. Verse 6 says, "As the Lord is my witness, I would never do such a thing to my Lord, the Lord's anointed. I will never lift my hand against him since he is the Lord's anointed." So then that kind of convinced the people that David was with to not kill Saul. So David spares Saul's life after all he's done to him. We can all learn something from David here because like, I'm sure we have our own Sauls. I'm sure we've been Saul before, like, in our own lives. We can learn a lot from this. Back to the story, though. Saul, he leaves the cave, and David calls out to him. He's like, "My lord, my king." And he bows down to him. Like, he gives him respect. David explains to Saul how he means no harm to him and that he's basically spared his life. Like, he could have killed him, but he didn't. He says, "Someone advised me to kill you, but I took pity on you and said, I won't lift my hand against my Lord, since he is the Lord's anointed. Look, my father, look at the corner of your robe in my hand, for I cut it off, but I didn't kill you. Recognize that I have committed no crime or rebellion. I haven't sinned against you, even though you are hunting me down to take my life." David's better than me. I'm not even gonna lie, David is better than me because the way that Saul was going after him all this time, and David had the opportunity to just end it. To just end it all. You know what I'm saying? Take his throne, But he's better than me. That's all I gotta say. My favorite verse from this chapter that I will take and carry and write down and hold is verse 12. It says, "May the Lord judge between me and you, and may the Lord take vengeance on you for me, but my hand will never be against you." I think I'm going to make a video about this verse, so I'm going to keep my thoughts for that. But stay tuned. Basically, David is calling an end to all this madness because he's like, the Lord has control over this whole situation. I'm done with this. I'm done trying to kill you. I'm done trying to run away from you. Like, it's not my battle to fight. So now after David, says his nice little speech, Saul want to act like he loves David again. And he's like, "Oh, my son, is that your voice?" So Saul, he starts to cry. And he says, "You are more righteous than I, for you have done what is good to me, though I have done what is evil to you. You yourself had told me today what good you did for me. When the Lord handed me over to you, you did not kill me." Then he goes on to say, "May the Lord repay you with good for what you've done for me today." Like, Saul knows David is a good guy. And he was so out to get him. And it took this speech for Saul to realize that David was a good guy. What? On top of that, he goes on to say, "You know what? I know you're going to be king of Israel. You're going to rule over Israel." Then verse 21 says, "Therefore swear to me by the Lord that you will not cut off my descendants or wipe out my name from my father's family." So he's pleading with David to spare his family, knowing what he did to David was wrong. Oh, you got nerve. You got a lot of nerve, Saul. But again, David is better than me because he swore to Saul, and then it says that then Saul went back home and David and his men went up to the stronghold. So Saul and David has made amends, and now they're like mutual, I guess. They're cool. Although that ending wasn't the way that I was hoping, because I'm sorry, I wanted Saul to suffer for what he did to David. But it's like, I can learn a lot from the ways of David here, because don't choose violence. Let the Lord handle your battles, basically. I'm telling you, David is better than me, though. But I digress. That's all I have for y'all today. I'm like laughing at myself. Like, the reaction that I had reading this chapter is just a roller coaster. But that's all I have for y'all. I love y'all. God loves y'all more. See you tomorrow. And have a great night. Okay.